What can you say about this feature here, Karen?
There's a wall. Yeah. Quite late, we think. There's a bit of a cobble floor here, and we know it's a bit later. Perhaps a penknife, which we can see is worked here. And there's a little bit of the metal, copper, perhaps on the other side. We've got a little piece of wood with writing on it, and the writing says, if I may turn it around, Cadbury's absolutely pure cocoa number 1, and it's so many ounces, 6p, and it's got a little
context soon. So you know all of this, like you say, once dropping down at least that level, you know, get going down through the waste.
It's pretty amazing the amount of stuff that we actually miss.
Leave the ones holding the pin, but trying to get one that side and then 3 there. If you're not too embedded.
So this is a sharpening stone that we discovered yesterday in Cave 1B, and you can see the grooves here that have been used for sharpening knives.
In the sun.
So we have found loads more fish scale. Steve, would you mind saying just a couple of words about that fish scale?
Yeah, okay. Let me just get a big piece off. Right, we're just on one of the post-medieval contexts in Linie 1B, and you'll see we've got this incredible surface which we've cleaned back and we're removing now, overlying this rubble spread from an earlier period. But it's incredibly rich in fish scales, and you can see there's just a mat of this material which we've been sampling. Incredibly thick, and you can see the makeup of it, individual fish scales. Not sure if they're from salmonids or from cod family type fish, but obviously the intriguing question is, what are they doing with the fish? How are they processing it? Why are we finding the scales and not that many fish bones? So is it that they're actually taking the scales off, scraping the scales, preparing the fish in some way before selling elsewhere? And so yeah, just so much of it, and incredibly rare on archaeological sites, especially this sort of preservation. I think it's because there is so much of it has helped to preserve the layers in some respect. But it's mixed in with branch wood and sort of bracken mat and things like this. So it was a floor that came right across the surface with the odd fire spot, showing that people were obviously doing certain activities in here. But at a lower level, within the stone spread, we've actually come on quite a few large and well-preserved animal bones. We thought at first it could be cattle or something like this, and we've got what is almost looks like a complete pony skull, small horse skull, and again it's been dumped in this pile of stone. So we've got the lower mandible, the eye socket, and the upper mandible still articulated, but it doesn't appear like we've got any of the other skeletal elements extending off where we'd expect them to be. So it's dismembered, and we have been finding some big pieces of vertebrae in other parts of this stone spread, parts of a tail, articulated tail last year, lower part of the vertebrae, and a few long bones as well. So it maybe we've got something relating to some sort of deposition of horse or small pony.
Do you feel we're still in the post-medieval context at the moment?
Well, that's a tricky one. Obviously, we know at this horizon, we're at probably the base of the post-medieval for sure, occupation horizon. But where we're getting these ashy spreads just within or under this stone, we could well be getting back into the medieval, I feel. Because this stone spread, last year, where we excavated in the main trench, underlying that stone spread was the early medieval layers. So the big question is, did the stone spread go in at the end of activities in the early medieval, maybe in the following medieval period when people came back to reuse a cave, levelling up inside, and then they were putting stuff like this in it? Or is it a spread from a later period? We can't be sure. All we know is directly on top of the stone spread is the earliest post-medieval occupation of the cave.
Okay.
found this row of vertebrae, which are tantalisingly close to this skull here, with which that may or may not have any connection whatsoever. But what has been tantalising us is that this spinal column runs under the stone. So we'll come to the moment when we can actually reveal what's underneath and see if there is anything of interest. So here goes. Let's hope it's not too disastrous.
Dun, 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 dun.
So here we go.
Ooh.
And lo and behold, there is indeed more, and we still perhaps haven't got to the bottom of it. So more tomorrow.
I don't know what to say. Yeah, we've got a pretty complete skull, and then the vertebrae comes right along there. And there's no ribs yet, so hopefully they'll be underneath. What else do you want me to say?
Any sign of butchery you can see?
I think there's some marks along there.
Well, Steve, when I finish serving dinner, where would you like it?
It's just broken up.
I think I said
Yeah, there's been a lot of stone on
I
top
think
of it,
the
you know.
best place is on that hard rock, but have you got another view?
Can someone describe the cause of death for me, please?
Poleaxing.
Poleaxing.
Poleaxing, as you see
and
from
you
the
can
large,
see the large.
poleaxed hole.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So these could actually be taken up.
They can.
One more to go in. Right, so we don't need these.
What do you want me to take?
Sort of getting more of this
Yeah.
overall across the weight.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, standing here, it all looks, there's a lot going on down here, isn't there?
I know.
I mean,
it's
have
sort of
you any-
patchy, you know,
Actually,
different
Karen, can I
levels,
just
If you have an
Yeah.
overview of what's
Can I
happening.
move you to the side from there? I can just see
I
it.
wish we'd got the definite art,
That's
you know,
it.
which all this
Yeah,
stuff's generating
yeah.
from. I mean, you know, that setting around the far end there, that semicircular thing,
Yeah.
may have been partially destroyed. The nice flat slabs,
Slabs, yeah.
would
lot
have
of
made a
ash
nice
spilling
big
off.
hearth. You've got a lot of ash around it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of red around that last year as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that'd be the perfect place
Just
to
in the
find
Martha
place around
Cave,
the
yeah,
entrance.
yeah. Sure.
Is that a half, do you think you've got there, Robin?
Well, this is.
That certainly, yeah.
And that's presumably in the early medieval, is it?
Oh, could have been a week last Thursday, for all I know.
Yeah, I think. Well, since we found the medieval pot, we've come down a good.
Yeah, there's no harm in doing that.
Okay, so there has been a bit of excitement here on day 7 as we have discovered some hammer scale, and Michael is going to tell us all about it.
Yeah, well, we think we might have some evidence of metalworking here in, which is definitely the pre-medieval there. Some what could be iron deposits, iron slag deposits, and so now we're just bringing everything down to that layer to see what we can find.
And we have a hearth feature in the back of Cave 1B, which is beginning to be defined here, you can see. Out of here we've had an awful lot of bone and charcoal. You can see some in situ here, and some of the finds that come out. We've got some charred bone, some quite big pieces, partially charred. We also have some burnt bone, and this is calcined bone as well.
Absolutely spectacular.
So it's a
On
lovely
day 8 at the
place.
Rosemarkie Caves dig, we have a visit from American archaeological students who are digging at nearby Castle Craig.
only these three, really, isn't it? Yeah, the three. Yeah. How many did you test pits? One on doors last year, which is just literally a metre wide and the full width you see there. And we missed the smelting off there into the smithing off by this one. Yeah. And same next door with Rosemarkie Man. I think one of the test pits wasn't very far away from it, although it didn't go down so deep.
So this is the Rosemarkie Caves dig. Rosemarkie Caves dig.
I was excavating in a sandy area just beside some burnt area with a few shells in it, and I noticed what I thought at first was a thimble. And I picked it up and realised immediately that it was completely solid. And it turns out that we think it's a gaming piece.
Oh, fantastic. And what's it made out of?
We think antler. It's got a completely flat base, and there's a tiny hole in the centre of the top. I'm not sure if that's significant or not.
That's lovely. Thank you. And that's potentially early medieval.
Yes.
So we've now taken away a lot of the black fill, which had lots of hammer scale and stuff, which formed the halo all around it. And around the periphery, we've had lumps of this vitrified furnace wall, as you can see.
Yeah.
Vitrified clay. You can see the outside of it there, where it's been moulded by fingers by the looks of it, and then pushed into the hole or pushed into the wall. And obviously bits of slaggy type material. Lots of hammer scale running through it. And
Fantastic.
what we're down to, what's left is, like say, literally the slab, which was set at the side, and then this is the focus of what would have been like a little tower furnace or something like that. Those caves,
Fescues maybe where coal is.
Right. And we're preparing to remove the remains of the furnace from cave 1A.
The soil comes away. We'll just get that out of the hole after and collect any last bits up, you know.
Could you just describe what you're doing, Steve?
Yeah, so what we've got here is obviously we've section excavated through the feature, the furnace, the smithing furnace this way, which gives us quite a bit of information. But as we started to remove the other deposits, then we've got this really nice section through what survives of the smithing art. So what you've got is obviously part of the furnace wall sitting on this stone slab, and then down below it you've got part of the hearth base with its different laminations in it. So what we're trying to do is raise it as complete as we can. We've got a good record of it anyway, but obviously just seeing if we can get it out in one piece and transport it back. May not happen that way, but we'll see how it goes. So I think so, if you can just relieve this stuff from around here, from this, because hopefully this slab and this will have to come together. It's nearly loose, so you can see. When I just move this, see, I'd be happy if we get, you know, attached to them all the stones. Yeah. That's pretty nearly loose now. Right, let's try it that. Then have to stay put them when I get it in here, that's the trouble. It's on the ground.
Hello.
It's not too bad.
Well done.
That's great.
Hey.
Not too bad.
Big round of applause.
Oh, okay. Right. All right. Thanks, Clara.
Come in, clean out the hole the best you can.
Yep.
And we'll retain any of the sort of slaggy bits and everything else. I'll have to get another tray, I think, to put those bits in.
Good. Well, it's a little piece of ceramic. It's come out of a layer of sand, which is about this height. But underneath it, we've had little pieces of glass as well. So this is obviously out of context in this area. I suspect that people have dug sand out of here, laid it on top of this little layer that you can see here, and then planted their stones on top of that to build the wall.
Right.
So
Scottish gritty ware, I believe, is it?
yes, white.
White gritty ware.
White gritty ware.
Okay, marvellous. Thank you. And we think sort of 1000s through to 1200s.
That sort of thing.
That
yeah.
sort of era. So this is the end of day 9, Rosemarkie Caves Dig 2018, and we've had fantastic progress, but we still have work to do. You can see there's been quite a bit of finishing up in this cave, but we're still not backfilled.
It's gone already.
And over in the main
I didn't put
cave,
it in your little finds tray, I'm sorry.
if I can get past them,
It was
still
just
a lot of context to explore, still a lot of archaeology in here, and features being found all the time. Another small spot half found there,
It wasn't.
and some possible stake holes over in this
No, leave it
area.
in there. It'll get put in as a find.
So we will be back next week.
I think that black.
Dead Pony Club on it.
Pony Club.
Have you a few words to say, Steve, on receipt of your
Well,
honour?
I'm very honoured actually. You know, first thing, it is a good beer for one, but also quite apt for the discovery.
Indeed.
So yeah, thank you very much.
And we've added on a few days to finish off. Do you want to say any words of wisdom, Joni?
Yes, I was pretty good here on the day.
Just keep it up, chaps. It's got a nice shape. Obviously, you can see the removals on the other side there, and you can see how it's been detached from the core. And because it's got this like wee tang, it looks like there could be a little bit of working in this corner. But as far as I can see as yet, I need to have a look with the glass, and maybe a bit of working up this edge as well. Oh, I don't know what they're doing with it. It's got a big stone set on top.
At the back of Cave 1B here, we've revealed this interesting dark linear feature which may come right through the cave, and Steve thinks this is a trampled trackway, just trampled material representing where people walk through the cave, and that's going to be one of the earliest deposits we have. I've been busy with the magnet today, and we've been picking up loads of hammer scale, tiny little pieces of metal from smithing. It's possible this stone was used as an anvil. We're not quite sure if this was a smithing hearth here. There's nothing to suggest that yet, or whether it was another one over here.